All right, we're gonna try to knock down this weed patch today. I went and looked at the other field, the other stubble, and it's pretty green. As soon as that mare's tail got some sun, it took off like a bat out of hell. So that field needs to do something fierce. Was gonna use the 1955 for this, but I got it out of the barn and that damn voltage regulator's acting up again. So just as I suspected, I shouldn't have, well, I knew I wasn't gonna trust it any further than I could throw it, but I'm pretty sure it took a shit. I got a battery maintainer on it right now just to make damn sure the batteries are all the way up. But I'm pretty sure it's just done, because voltage regulators are fucking garbage anymore, no matter who you buy them from. But anyway, don't think we're gonna get both fields done today, because there's actually a thunderstorm out over the lake right now. It's that cloud bank right there. It's a thunderstorm, but it's a slow mover, so I got about 2 hours here. If I can eat, I mean, I don't know if the disc is gonna do anything in this or not. If not, I guess this is gonna be a short video, but it should, at least enough to knock the weeds down. We'll see if the 1800 can handle it. I haven't pulled it since we used to pull the base with this, but I haven't pulled it since I put the wings on it, so we shall see. Forgot to lock the axle to the cylinder so you can actually pick the axle up and get the weight on it. There, that ought to work a little better.
And I'm running for Congress, and I sure would appreciate your vote. I got a small farm just out of Whitfield, a few cows and a big mortgage note. He was a charmer to the poor man and the farmer, and all of us naturally knew we'd finally found us a voice for the Congress, singing I'm just a farmer like you. From the beginning it was a horse race, nip and tuck to the end. When the last vote was counted, old Teddy had just made it. They called it a great people's win. And he moved to D.C. where he found it easy, drinking the lobbyist blues. As his wealth kept growing, he held to the slogan, saying I'm just a farmer like you. I'm just a farmer like you. I wear the same brogue as you. He'd sing the parody blues, singing I'm just a farmer like you. He kept his farm down in Menlo County, where each each year he'd have a big sale. And the oilmen and the bankers and the big road contractors would be there come rain or come hail. And everyone knew that they paid more money for cow than the meat packers do. When it was the right time, he'd make the headlines saying, I'm just a farmer like you. It's been a long time since Ted got elected. The farmers have had a long wait. Me, I'm still mortgaged up to my neck, and old Teddy owns half of the state. They say he's retiring, some new guy's aspiring. He's just an old poor boy too. And he's leading the strikers that's driving their tractors, singing, I'm just a farmer like you. I'm just a farmer like you. I wear the same Rogan shoe. It sang the parity blues, singing, I'm just a farmer like you. I'm just a farmer like you. I wear the same Rogan shoe. It sang the parity blues, singing, I'm just a farmer like you.
Okay, we're gonna end up in the barn here because I got done disking. It was spitting rain on me, although the sky has lightened up a bit. When I was folding up, I thought I was gonna get wet because the sky got about as black as night, and the wind started blowing, and all the trees were starting to lay over, and then it blew over, and it's calm again, but it's still spitting rain. So, weatherman was only off by about an hour and a half because it wasn't supposed to get here till about 1:30, and it's just a tick after noon now. So, I mean, close enough. But I was kind of impressed how well the 018 handled that disc. The cool part about it is, at least the base of that disc, the 12-foot part, that was the disc that this thing pulled when it was new. That disc and the tractor came from the same farm. And if I remember right, the disc, he bought the tractor and a 565 plow brand new in 1965. It would have been the spring of 65, I guess, because 65 is obviously when the 50 series came out, and they were having a deal to clear out all of the old 64 inventory that if you bought a tractor, you got to plow with it. So he bought this 1800 brand new in, I was like February or March of 65, because they got it in time for spring plowing. And then the disc showed up a year or two later. But yeah, and then obviously we got it, and I rebuilt it and put the wings on it so I could have more disc. But she wasn't lacking for horsepower. The only thing she was really lacking on is she was pawing a little bit. She needs some, but it's just a bare tractor. The tires aren't loaded. There's no wheel weights, no nothing. So I was really impressed. And I mean, the dyno's 95 horse, so should pull a 16-foot disc, no problem. It was just the traction I was worried about. If I was going to do it all day, and if I was going to do it in, I mean, that unworked ground, it was just fine. It was handling it fine. But if I was going to pull it all day in work ground, I'd at least want some duals on it just so you weren't spinning so much. But, and I tell you what, I wish every tractor we had was as easy on fuel as this thing, because, I mean, she wasn't working hard, but she knew that thing was back there. And that's just shy of 7 acres. And I filled it, and that's how much fuel I used. Basically nothing. This tractor, Oliver did something right when they built the 1800, because gas or diesel, either one, I mean, obviously the gasser wasn't going to touch the diesel for fuel economy, but both of them in their own right were incredibly, the 1800 gas still holds the gas fuel economy record, and the diesel wasn't very far behind. But and tomorrow I'm gonna call and get a new voltage regulator coming for this thing, because nothing will piss you off more than starting a tractor up and watching the amp meter go, or amp gauge go dink and stay there. And you don't want to cook the batteries, so you can't run it like that. I mean, you can run this thing. All you gotta do is unplug the regulator, because it's a diesel. It doesn't need, at least back then, it didn't need the electrical system. So, but still need to get a regulator on it so that it's usable. And this week's gonna be kind of a busy, well, this last week, even though I didn't have any videos, was a busy week because I spent Monday and Tuesday, I using the 1800. I got went around and brush hogged around all the fields that needed it. Did some power washing, got some more stuff taken over to my house. And then obviously had to get that thing ready for the show. That was my shit show Friday. And then this week I have to, well, now it's starting to rain. This week I have to get that regulator order. I got to get seed. I got to get wheat seed ordered. I want to get the sprayer cleaned out and winterized. I want to get the nurse tank cleaned out. Well, the nurse tank's empty, but I need to get the motor and the pump taken off and put inside. Get the sprayer and the nurse tank back over to my house where they're gonna stay. I got one more load of shit from the barn move debacle that I have to take over there, but it's got to be trailered over there. So when I do that, I'm going to take the 1600 and the forks over, and I got to unload the corn picker, or the mounted picker, off the trailer so I can get the trailer back to my buddy Matt. And then not tomorrow, but next Monday is the tractor pull at our fair. So at some point, or one afternoon this week, I got to take the 1950T down to Helena and weigh it so that I know if I'm just going to throw some suitcase weights on it, or if I'm going to put some duals on it, or figure out what I got to do. Because I haven't weighed it since I put the field and roads on it and unloaded the rear wheels. So I don't know how much it weighs. It used to weigh, I want to say with both tires loaded, it was right around 12. I think. Because I know last time I pulled it, I actually took the rear wheels off, switched hubs, and put the dual rims on it to put it on stamped steel, and I was able to get it down in the 10. Well, that's too much damn work for one tractor pull. If I was going to take it to like 4 or 5 pulls in the summer and leave it like that for a month or two, it'd be one thing, but to take the wheels off and turn around and put the wheels right back on for one tractor, that was too much damn work. I ain't ever doing that again. So it's not like I say, at some point I got to get the T down to get it weighed and basically get all of the bullshit finished up, because after we get through fair week, I want to start working on combines. And I think during fair week, because I don't know what Boss Man's going to be having me do, since they're going to be up at fair all week for pigs. I don't know if I'm going to have an easy week or not, but during fair week, I'd like to get my buddy Nick's backhoe over to my house and get the yard fixed and get that dirt pile moved so that I can get the combines in and out the back door. So August is going to be a very busy month, and then we get through the end of August, like that first or second weekend in September, I want to get the wheat stubble mull boarded, so that's out of the way. So, but luckily the combines don't need a whole lot of work. The 8700, I got 2 belts to change. I have a spring to change, and I just need to service it. And then the corn head, I think I got some seals I'm going to change. And then actually, so last year when I was running, everybody said I need to speed my corn head up. Well, there's no provisions to just speed the corn head up. You have to change sprockets. It doesn't have a variable speed feeder house or anything, which it's kind of stupid that they didn't. By that point, they should have, but, and it seems like I think I was actually watching an Oliver video like a factory video, and I think it was for like, I can't remember if it was for the 5555 or if it was for like the 76 7800. But one of them, it was a factory Oliver promotional video for whichever series of combine it was, showed them with a variable speed feeder house. It showed it. They talked about it, but I've never physically seen one on a combine. So I don't know if they were kicking it around and they didn't like how it worked or whatever. But either way, back on topic. So the 8700 doesn't need a whole lot, but anyway, the Cornhead. I actually was looking for something else earlier this summer, and I happened to find. I apparently had them and don't know it didn't. I found the speed up sprockets for my Cornhead, so I can throw those on. And I was at the end of last year, I was talking about changing my the knives on my stock rolls. Well, I'm gonna forego that for the time being and just put those new sprockets on the head and speed it up and see if that takes care of the issue, because I got a feeling I was getting a shitty, I mean, it wasn't doing a terrible job, but I got a feeling I was getting a shitty shred on the stocks because the stock rolls were running too slow for my ground speed. So I want to see what happens if I speed the head up, if the stock roll problem goes away. Because the rolls that are on it have actually been hard surface, so they're really not, or the knives that are on it have been hard surface, so they're really not all that worn. So I want to try that before I go spending $450 on, although it doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but in a year like this, any money you can save is money you can save. So I want to speed the head up, and then there's a couple gearbox seals that I want to change, and then I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and convert it, not really convert it, but pump the gearboxes full of Cornhead grease rather than dicking around with the 8090 that just runs out. So if anybody could give me a rough estimate of about how many tubes of grease it takes to fill a Cornhead gearbox from empty, let me know so I know how much to buy. So that's where the 8700's at, and then the 7300, the head is good to go. I'm not going to do anything more to that this year. And I have to pull off one. There's a little jump elevator in the clean grain system that takes it out of the machine, augers it up, and then dumps it into the long elevator that takes it into the grain tank that's got a hole in it. So I want to take that off, patch the hole, and then change all the lower bearings in the clean grain system. So there'd be one on the far side of the clean grain auger, one on the outside of that jump conveyor, two. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bearings. So, and then I want to pull the hydraulic valve stack out of it because I got a feeling I got one leaking internally because my variable speed likes to creep out on me and slow back down. You really only notice, well, before you really only noticed it going down the road, but it's getting to the point where you notice it in the field. And I know it's not the cylinders leaking, A, because the cylinders are rebuilt, and B, they're single acting cylinders. So if the single acting cylinders were leaking, it would just be shitting oil out of the end of the cylinder. So if the cylinders aren't leaking oil out of the rod end, the cylinders are fine. So it's got to be in that valve stack. So, which ain't no, that pulling the valves out of them things ain't no fun. We rebuilt the set on the 525, but if it needs done, it needs done. So that's really, and then the 7300 needs a general service, but that's really all it needs done to the combines for this year. So hopefully it goes rather quickly. I already have all of the parts that I know of for the 8700. They're sitting over here in a pile on the floor. So I just got to check and make sure I got oil filters for it, because I can't remember if I ordered Baldwin's for it. I think I did, but I got to look. That was thunder. So anyway, that's basically where everything stands. So figured this was a good time to explain where things were at, because the videos are going to be we'll just see how things go as to what gets videoed. I mean, obviously the combine service and everything will get videoed. I don't think I'm going to bother videoing anything this week. I'm going to go get that other, see how much rain we get. It's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. We'll see what actually happens, and see how much rain and how muddy it gets. I got to go disc that other field of stubble down, get that mare's tail knocked out. And then I got the other stuff to get done this week, so we'll see what gets videoed. And then next weekend, we'll see how things play out. So I guess with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.